All right, happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to my new classroom in my house. I have set up the whiteboard in my dining room, and I'll try to teach you from that. Hopefully everyone has turned in the assignment from the sub and turned in the word system of equation word problem that was due for today. So just a couple things to make sure. If I give it back to you and say to fix, I want you to correct problems so that you know what you're doing right or wrong. So I just want to give in this video, this is the only video I'll give for the week, a little instruction plan for overview. All right, so what I'm going to expect for this week, we're still working on system of equation word problems. I have a packet, or I have the whole week planner in Google Classroom. So what you need to do is either print this note page out or write the two problems down on a separate sheet of paper. Continue with your notebook. Continue putting things in for notes to help you go further from here. So I'm going to have one assignment that is going to be a paper copy that you'll either have to write out or copy the work or print the worksheet out for the week. That's due Wednesday. You'll need to go in and log in to Delta Math. I'm not going to put the code in on this video because this is live video and I don't want every Tom, Dick, and Harry to enter my classroom. So I will put that in Google Classroom and it will just be for you to, so when you go to Delta Math, you will need to go to the top right hand corner and it says for student, and you'll be directed right then to put in my code. It's a 6-digit number, I believe, that I'll put in Google Classroom for an overview for what's due for the week. You'll have two assignments on Delta Math, one with 6 questions that we'll have for systems of equations that we're working on that'll be due Thursday, and then another one that's a review of graphing systems that I think is due Friday. But I'll have that in Google Classroom. Okay, so what we're working on right now is the notes for the systems of equation word problem 2. So I've written this on my whiteboard and we'll go through it together. So before you start finishing, maybe pause, read the problem so we can kind of think through together on what we need to do to solve. All right, here we go. So first thing, what we have is the Frosty ice cream shop sells sundaes for $2 and banana splits for $3. On a hot summer day, the shop sold a total of 70 sundaes and banana splits together, and they made $190. So in your problem it says, how many of each type did they sell? But I didn't want to go to the next line, so I just kind of said, how many did they sell here? So remember for our notes, you got to first figure out what is it that you need to figure out. And it's usually probably from the last sentence. So how many of each type? So you got to think to yourself, well, what are the two types? Well, they are sundaes and banana splits. So I will probably use variables that make sense to the problem. I like using it so then when I go back and know I've solved for something, then I'm like, oh yeah, that's S for sundaes or B for banana splits. All right, so here we go. Let's put S equals and then you've got to see, okay, do you want to know the price or how many? So right here, it's how many they sold. So S equals the number of sundaes. S is the number of sundaes, and we're going to let B equals the number of banana splits. Okay, so remember when our steps were when you, first of all, identify your variable. What is it you're trying to figure out? After you do that, then you're writing your system of equations. So go back and see what kind of information. If you think about it, what's one type of information we're given here? If you look, it's money. So circle all of the money information. So I would take a minute and circle all of the money information, and then we're going to put an equation. We're not going to mix up information. Some of you, when you turned in your assignment, that's what you did. You mixed up money with the amount of came in. So make sure all the same information gets put into the equation. So we see that it is $2 for a sundae plus $3 for a banana split and that equals to a total of $190. Okay, so that's our first equation. And then if you look back, you can see they sold a total of 70 banana splits and sundaes. So we know that sundaes and banana splits together is 70. So we can say S plus B equals to 70. And so I would use elimination. Next week we'll look at word problems where we'd use substitution. But for this, if they're lined up in standard form, I like elimination. So think about what variable do you want to eliminate? Probably the smaller one. So if that says 2, what does this need to say to eliminate it? -2. Good. So let's multiply. The top one we're not going to change. I'm going to rewrite it as 2S plus 3B equals 190. The bottom one, we're going to multiply every single thing by -2. Again, this is where I saw some mistakes. Forget to multiply your number by -2. So what it should be is -2S plus -2B equals negative 140. All right, so after we can line it up. And we can, so as long as the S's, the B's, and the numbers are lined up, we can eliminate. So the S's cancel, and then we get B equals to 50. So if B is 50, well, what was the total? We know the total is 70. So we know that S equals to 70 minus 50. So we know S is 20. So once you've solved it, I want you to write what that means. So we have 50 banana splits, and I knew B was banana splits because I had B for banana. And then we have 20 sundaes. And again, when I saw some problems from the homework that you did last week, make sure the total, like some of your totals didn't match up the total that was given. Make sure your total goes to 70 only. So if you get 30 and 20, you know you did something wrong, you can go back and check your equation. So I'm gonna pause the video for a minute to erase the board. I can only really do one in my classroom at home. I can only really do one problem at a time. So you're gonna have to be patient with me. So my suggestion, while I'm setting up for my next equation, you read the problem, and you already circled the information. We'll talk about it together. So just one moment.